guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. All right, guys, it is July 10th and it's 11:22 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're going to be picking up from where we left off in the last video and starting the post for today, July 10th. And we will get through those, and Q only has another about 40 minutes to post, so hopefully he won't post any more tonight, and that will catch us up for today, and we'll be ready and fresh for tomorrow's posts. So let's get started. All right, now this is a little bit of a distressing picture, and I didn't make it, I can make it a little bit bigger, but I didn't really want to. And what this person is doing is they are washing babies, but this is not as it seems, because at first I thought this was Planned Parenthood and they were washing these babies to be sold, but that is not the case. This is a group, I can't remember the country. It's not this country. I think it might be Thailand, but they are, what this charity is doing is they wash the babies and they give them a proper burial. So it's not as egregious as it looks. But it says, Q says, reality is hard to swallow. Fake news keeps you asleep, sheep, and fixed in a pre-designed false reality, a narrative, their narrative. Google altering search results to support the pre-designed narrative and prevent or make harder for one to learn the truth. Now, he asks that as a question, but he is certainly making a statement. He is saying that Google is altering the search results, as we all know, and that supports their pre-designed narrative and prevents or makes it harder, at least, for the masses to learn the truth. Those with influence who challenge the narrative are banned, shunned, threatened. And we have seen plenty of examples of that. Planned Parenthood is good narrative. That's their narrative, that it's good, that it supports women's rights, that it supports women's right to choose. China is not a threat. That is the narrative that they are giving to us. China's not a threat. Do you know the market price for a fetus? Correlation of market price and days old of fetus / baby. So there is a correlation of, depending on how old the child is, determines the price. The older the child, the greater the price. As age, days increases, so does the value. And we do have a link here to an article, and we're going to go out and look at that in a moment. Democrats block Born Alive bill. And he's asking it as a question, but of course we know that that is a fact. They have blocked it time and time and time again, and they continue to block it. And that is, the Born Alive bill is if in the act of performing an abortion, the baby is born alive, then medical assistance must be rendered. But the Democrats have struck that down time and time again. Now, why would that be so controversial or so adverse to the Democrats? Why? Well, because Planned Parenthood makes political donations exclusively to the Democrats. And Planned Parenthood political donations, what party? To the Democrats. And do you believe this has anything to do with a woman's right to choose? Of course not. Of course it doesn't. The Democrats know that they are interrupting their flow of money should a baby be born alive and given medical attention. Welcome to the real world. Q. Now, we're going to look at this. And I just put this: the Democrats blocking the Born Alive bill has nothing to do with a woman's rights, but has to do with Planned Parenthood making money from the aborted child. Planned Parenthood gives almost exclusively to the Democrats. And this also from D'Oppresso Liber, rather. The point of Q's post: the pro-abortion movement has little, if anything, to do with a woman's right to choose. There's a black market for baby organs, and it's a billion-dollar industry. Fake news pushes a false narrative to keep sheep asleep. If you challenge it, you're banned. Market price for a fetus increases as the unborn baby gets older and grows in the womb. Why? Because of the value of the formed organs. Democrats oppose Born Alive bill for one reason: to keep their black market money making off little babies in operation. Satanic. Planned Parenthood is nothing more than a baby organ factory and Democrat money laundering scam. They ensure ongoing supply of aborted babies to satisfy the demand for organs, human sacrifices, and child rape fantasies of their customers. I really do not have words. Now, let's go up to this, and we're not going to read it because basically that says everything we need to know. Dems block Born Alive bill to provide medical care to infants who survive failed abortions. Senate Democrats on Monday blocked a Republican bill that would have threatened prison time for doctors who don't try saving the life of infants born alive during failed abortions, leading conservatives to wonder openly whether Democrats were embracing infanticide to appeal to left-wing voters. All prominent Democratic 2020 presidential hopefuls in the Senate voted down the measure, including Bernie Sanders of Vermont, Kamala Harris of California, Cory Booker of New Jersey, Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, and Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts. The final vote was 53-44 to end Democratic delaying tactics, 7 votes short of the 60 needed. So it's sad. It's extremely sad. I don't understand, and we're not going to read all this because that is basically what Q wants us to know, that Republicans have brought this forward time and time again, and time again, it's been struck down. And now we know why. So it's hideous when money is more important than human life. But to the Democrats, it is. So let's go on now. And we're going up to the next one. And the next one is this. It is a link, simply a link, and the link is to this: the Epoch Times. Unchallenged allegations of a DNC computer hack permeated nearly all media coverage and were sprinkled throughout much of the Mueller report. But analysis of the files themselves show otherwise. Now, there is no evidence. The Mueller investigation failed to provide evidence that the DNC was hacked. And analysis of the stolen emails not only eviscerates the legitimacy of at least 12 of Mueller's indictments, it calls into question the motives. Now, we know that there was not a DNC hack. We know that it was, like, it's been explained to us that it couldn't have been done like over the internet into their servers. That didn't happen. It was someone physically there putting it on a flash drive, because it would have taken forever for them to transfer that much data, and they would have been caught. So we know that it was Seth Rich who did that, who ended up murdered, and he gave those to Julian Assange. So let's move on. Okay, now we have seen this before, this map, and this is an older post by Q. Let's see where it was from. It was from 2/11. Hang on, I didn't get to the top of this. There we go. This is the top of that. July 10th. he is inserting this post from February, and underneath it says border fight, regarding border fight, worth remembering, Q. Now, what is he saying? Well, here is a bigger picture of this. And what this shows, if you will recall, this was 2/11/2019. And it's an overlap of the areas where the greatest number of illegal aliens and the Democratic pockets. And if you overlap the two, they match up perfectly. Why is that? Because illegal immigrants vote Democrat. That's a fact. Q showed us this earlier. And I'm not going to read this because that is not what Q is alluding to. He is alluding to this map here. And it says, I'll read this. Why do Dems push for no voter ID in the U.S. elections? Why do you think? They want that voter block. They need that voter block. Why do Dems push for open borders? They can't get voters any other way. That is who is voting for the Democrats, because the Democrats give them everything. They welcome them in. They give them anything they want. And of course they're going to vote Democrat. Find the connection. Sometimes a map helps. Well, in this case, a map helped a whole lot because we could see it with our own eyes that the two overlapped, like literally. So the map where illegal immigrants live perfectly overlaps the blue counties where Dems vote. Voter ID laws and inserting a citizenship question into the census threatens their voter block. Simple. So let's go on. And a lot of this is bringing up stuff we've already covered. But so much has gone under the bridge, and so much of this stuff was brought up a long time ago. And Q is simply refreshing our memory so that we can see that what is happening now has already been discussed by Q previously. We can future proves past. He talked about this stuff. We're seeing it all in the news right now. So it's a good reminder of everything that has gone before. Because why is he doing that? Because things are going to start moving quickly, and the things that we've been talking about since this began are going to start manifesting. We're going to see them with our own eyes. Future proofs past. So now there is another link here that Q provides, and he says Planned Parenthood news coming. Q. Now let's look at this. And this is from, when was this written? It says GOP senators demand DOJ update on Planned Parenthood fetal tissue probe. And this was from the 20th of June, 2019. Now Q is telling us that there is news coming concerning Planned Parenthood. So Republican Senator Lindsey Graham and Chuck Grassley have sent a letter to U.S. Attorney General William Barr and FBI Director Christopher Wray demanding an update on the investigation into possible violations regarding the sale of aborted fetal tissue by Planned Parenthood and its partners in the biomedical research industry. According to a press release, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Graham and his predecessor, Grassley, current chairman of the Committee on Finance, wrote to Barr and Wray Tuesday seeking an update on the federal investigation that was supposedly launched in 2017. Preventing the illegal sale of human fetal tissue remains a priority for the committee, the letter stated. In furtherance of the committee's ongoing oversight of this issue, the committee asks that you are aware the following questions that you answer the following questions no later than July 2nd, 2019. Graham, well, that's long past. Graham and Grassley requested answers to these Questions. Has the FBI taken any action on the criminal referrals submitted by then Chairman Grassley? If the FBI has taken action, please provide an update to the committee. If the FBI has not taken action, please explain the justification for not doing so. Are there any other investigative updates related to this matter that the FBI can share with the committee at this time? In December 2017, Stephen Boyd, Justice Department Assistant Attorney General for Legislative Affairs, formally requested unredacted documents from the Senate Judiciary Committee's investigation into allegations that Planned Parenthood and its partners in biomedical companies engaged in the sale of body parts of aborted babies for profit. Boyd wrote in the letter obtained by Fox News, "The Department of Justice appreciates the offer of assistance in obtaining these materials and would like to request the committee provide unredacted copies of records contained in the report in order to further the department's ability to conduct a thorough and comprehensive assessment of that report based on the full range of information available. At this point, the records are intended for investigative use only. We understand that a resolution from the Senate may be required if the department were to use any of the unredacted materials in a formal legal proceeding, such as a grand jury," he added. In September 2017, the FBI's Assistant Director of the Office of Congressional Affairs sent a letter to Grassley informing him the agent was in receipt of the Senate Judiciary Committee's criminal referrals of Planned Parenthood and its partners in the fetal tissue procurement industry. We can confirm the Criminal Investigation Division, CID, of FBI headquarters received your referrals and sent them to the relevant FBI field offices for review and whatever action is deemed appropriate. The FBI's Gregory Brower also wrote to Grassley in June of 2017. In his correspondence, Brower apologized to Grassley for the delay in responding to his inquiry. The indicated receipt of the chairman's letter dated April 24th to both former FBI Director James Comey and former Attorney General Jeff Sessions concerning criminal referrals he made on December 13th, 2016 to the FBI and Department of Justice. Now, I don't know if it's necessary but let's move down here. The sale or purchase of human fetal tissue is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison or a fine of up to $500,000. Based on its finding, the Judiciary Committee's major staff report concluded Planned Parenthood's partner in the biomedical procurement industry paid the abortion chain's affiliates for the body parts of aborted babies and then sold the fetal tissue to their respective customers at substantially higher prices than their documented costs. Planned Parenthood and its political and media allies have continued the narrative that the extensive video footage produced by CMP documenting the alleged haggling over the sales of aborted body parts was deceptively edited. However, in January, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals vindicated CMP, debunking Planned Parenthood's smear that the videos were manipulated. So, Q is telling us, and this is the issue, they are waiting for that investigative report, and Q is telling us that news from Planned Parenthood is forthcoming. So we can look for that in the days ahead. And let's go up to here. Here is the next one. And this says, smoke and mirrors. Fake news media's attempt to truncate size of movement while building up size of the opposition, Inauguration Day to current attempts to diminish and instill a "you are the minority" mindset narrative continues. People want to believe they are part of the bigger group. Size equates to accuracy in most minds, acceptance, the right side. One of the primary purposes of POTUS holding a rally is to demonstrate the massive appeal, energy, and size of this movement, plus ability to correct false reporting and or highlight achievements and goals. Compare and contrast 45 rally versus any single one of the Democrats. What is obvious and true? Why does POTUS mention crowd size at each and every rally? What is projected by the mainstream media? Lies become truths. Truths become lies. Smoke and mirrors. You are the majority. People united and awake is their biggest fear. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. First day with the new fingers. All right, and smoke and mirrors, you are the majority. People united and awake is their biggest fear. Do you think it's a coincidence that we are being attacked aggressively by some of the biggest media corporations in the world right after our return? If we are simply a conspiracy or a LARP or some kid living in a basement, as stated repeatedly, why do the world's largest media companies continue to dedicate so much attention and time to attacking us? Billion-dollar companies expending resources to stop a LARP? Billion-dollar companies expending resources to attempt to shape the mindset, narrative, to prevent and slow digestion of the masses? You attack those you fear the most. Why does the media rush to shape events? Why are the same keywords always used? Psych 101. If you see and hear the same thing over and over again, you tend to believe it. And that is true. People generally tend to want to be a part of the bigger crowd. So if they think there's only a few people following Trump, they're less likely to feel inclined to follow him because they think, well, most of the people are following the Democrats, so they must be right. And that is just human nature. Most people think that way. I don't, but you obviously don't, but many people do. So let's come down here. They do not want you thinking for yourself. They do not want you challenging their authority. Logical thinking always wins. Attacks will intensify. Fake news is an arm of the Democratic Party, enemy of the people. Q. And I am including this post by Dio Presso Lieber, and you can actually follow this person on Twitter. They have a lot of good things to say. Since the first day of POTUS presidency, the fake news has been trying to minimize the size of the MAGA movement while building up the size of the opposition. The narrative, you are the minority, Q points out this is the reason POTUS puts on the rally, to show the true size of the MAGA movement, as well as the energy, appeal, and variety of races, classes, and support. Compare POTUS rally to the Dem candidates. No comparison. Dems are duds. Q reiterates that we are the majority. All the fake news can do is project and lie. Why does the media attack the QAnon movement and Q so much if Q's a LARP or a 30-year-old computer whiz in a basement? Because they know Q is the real deal. A lot of this info is for new Q followers. The media uses basic psychology to shape the narrative. Repeat the same phrases over and over and shape the facts to their narrative. Convince sheep of their lies and convince sheep they are in the minority. Or they are in the majority. Logical thinking wins every time. Fake news is an arm of the Democratic Party, and attacks will intensify. We will prevail. Good comments there. And let's go up to the next one. And this is very interesting. Stealth bomber. Date of first flight. Date of Mueller's testimony, A, B, C, D, E, ... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ... B, 2, Q. Now, I had a difficult time with this, and so I did not understand what this was talking about, and so I went out there to see if anyone else had decoded this, and this by Lisa May, is it Lisa May Crowley? Yeah, Lisa May Crowley. And she's a really good person to follow on Twitter as well. Very, very smart, very knowledgeable, and, knows what she's talking about. Stealth bomber first flight was the 17th of July, 89. Mueller to testify 17th of July, 19. Not a numbers pro, but equating alphabet with corresponding numbers. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, Q equals 17, etc. 17th of July, 1 equals A, 7 equals G, B2 equals Bill Barr, stealth bomber. Now, I think that's a pretty good explanation of what that means, if you ask me. And I think that is what it means personally. Now, if you have another explanation, please let us know in the comments below. I comb through the comments as much as I can. When the comments get into the hundreds and hundreds, I do lose track after a while because it's hard to keep up with all the comments. There's just too many. Anyway, but a lot of you guys read through the comments, so please do leave comments. All right, and this is the last one from today. And when we finish this, I will go out and see if there are any more that we can decode so that we will be up to date. And this, it says, you are witnessing the greatest coordinated misinformation attack campaign ever to be launched against the public, all in an effort to protect themselves from prosecution, public exposure, and regain power, control. Attempted removal of the duly elected president of the United States by illegal, manufactured means they believe they could win. Con public support by controlled assets, media, technology, Hollywood. These controlled assets set out to immediately create division through the use of a pre-designed misinformation campaign. Groups such as Antifa were funded and formed to prevent and or lessen the appeal for regular, hardworking Americans to gather and express non-narrative viewpoints. Control of this projected narrative depends primarily on their ability to con the masses into thinking they are the majority. The mindset of most, if the majority of people believe this, then this must be more true than that. And that is a basic psychological principle. CIA, class 1 to 99, human, psych, and emotional distress, IIED. Now, I am not even going to pretend that I know what he is talking about precisely there, but I don't know. Time may tell. Without public support, they are powerless. We, the people, hold the power. United, we are strong. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter and or abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. You are witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard. Q. Now, I believe this is extremely self-explanatory, so I'm not going to comment further on it. But that brings us up to date with the Q posts. But let me check to be sure before I let you go. Not that I'm holding you here by any stretch of the imagination, but There is one more here. One more, and we've only got 9 minutes to go till midnight. So chances are that this is the end for today. So let's go out and watch this, unless it is what I think it is. And I think this is, this video will get POTUS elected, or this video will get Donald Trump elected. I think that is what this is, but let's see. Oh, B-2 stealth bomber takeoff. Okay, let me reduce the volume on this, and let's take a look. You know, just watching that brings back a memory, because I remember they had an air show. Like, we have the largest Canadian air base is really close to me. I mean, I could probably spit and hit it. Well, maybe not, and I don't spit, but it's quite close. And I remember back they were having an air show, and I was downtown, and my brother was with me, and my mouth just hung open because I'd never seen anything like this. It was a stealth bomber, and I was just like, my mouth was hanging open, and I said, that must be the stealth bomber. And my brother said, what's so stealth about it? We can see it. I thought that was actually, my brother was actually probably one of the funniest human beings on the face of the earth, and I miss him terribly. But anyway, what is the purpose for Q showing us? I think that he is telling us that this B-2 stealth bomber is taking off. That is what I would assume that this means. Hang on, we need to go back to here. Come on, come back. Yeah, that's what I would assume, because he was talking about the stealth bomber over here, and we kind of figured out, well, I didn't, but Lisa May Crowley did, that the B-2 is Attorney General Barr. So I think here it's saying, he's saying, yeah, this B-2 stealth is taken off. So that's good news. And let me just refresh this one more time to see that there have been no other posts. We've got 5 minutes to midnight here. And that is the last post. So if Q does not post another post in 5 minutes, then we will be completely up to date. But if we're not, and he does post, then I will bring that to you tomorrow, along with whatever posts that Q has for tomorrow. And also, I am going to be bringing you the Q related news tomorrow, because we're getting really far behind with it, and there's a lot of things that I want to tell you guys. So there you go. That's it for tonight. I hope you guys rest well, stay safe, stay blessed, and keep seeking truth. And you know why? You know why. I don't need to tell you. All right then. Well, have a good evening and good night to you all.